Hi, my name is Kavita, and my other three teammates are Kushal, Adhvaryu, Archit, Jain, and Kshama Jain. As part of our mobile computing project, we have built a smart movie recommendation application. The problem description is as follows: the user can give a movie name, and the app will give him the six to seven most similar movies. Our application is different from other applications as we are using the summary of the movie for detecting the genre into which it is falling. Usually, other applications take input from the user about the type of genre of the movie. So the task one was requirement analysis. So for this application, we required a huge amount of data of movie and their summary. And the task third was collecting data. So for task three, we used an API which was available on GitHub, which takes the data from the IMDb. After that, we had around 4 lakh movies, and after doing the pre-processing, we were left with 2.5 lakh of movies. So in the pre-processing part, we removed junk values, additional records like TV series, short films, and after the initial cleaning, we were left with around 2.5 lakh movies and 21 genres. The next task was data pre-processing so as to convert this movie and their summary into a vector representation where we have the vector representation of every summary. So for this we have used word-to-vec model of Google, which compares each and every word of the summary with the genre, and it takes average to get the final weightage of every genre. The next task was researching and deciding the machine learning technique. So as I told you earlier, we used neural network for converting the data into a vector format, and for the next part we have used KNN technique where we have used distance, where we have used Euclidean distance, and k equals to 6. The next task is designing and storing the database. So once we have data into this format, we have in this format, we wanted a database where we have 5 to 6 similar movies for each and every movie. So here you can see that for Through the Night we have around 6 to 7 similar movies, and we have appended 2 more columns which are likes and dislikes, which are used for the later part of the application. Here we also have column B, which actually tells the highest genre which is present into each and every movie, which we have used for background change according to the genre, which will be explained later. The second task was deciding the class diagram. So for this application, we have around 5 classes. The first is the main activity, which is actually the front page of our application. Then we have a cursor adapter, which actually takes data from the database and populates the list view. Next, we have database helper, which have all the functions which are required to handle the database, to query from the database. We also have a login activity for each and every user. Also, we have a feedback activity where the user can give suggestions for future improvements.
Have discussed in class diagram task, we have main activity, cursor adapter, login activity, feedback activity, database handler activity. So this is like going into the UI structure task. This we have login activity. Then we come to main activity. We have menus and tabs where we have different options, different functions. And then this is a list view where we have populated the list. We have added a like dislike button, which on clicking this like button, it adds the value to the database, and similar to the dislike button. Now going into the login activity, going into the details, we have created this login activity. Here if we enter the email ID, for example, and if we enter suppose some incorrect password, then it will give me an error. It will not allow me to log into the movie recommender application. Now uh, entering into the application, um, I have this main activity. Now we have designed a task, that is designing menu and tabs. That was our ninth task. This is the menus and tabs. Now we have options like showing top rated movies, showing the feedback, sharing the application on the social media, and then logging out. Now, clicking on this top rated movies, we show this top rated these movies in the descending order of the likes. As you can see here, the first movie has 100 likes, so it is at the topmost row, and it goes like in the descending order. Now, going into the search activity task, here we have created a search bar and this button. So now suppose searching the movie, suppose I search Black Friday. So it will show me the recommend 5-6 movies which are similar to this Black Friday movie. As you can see, we have also implemented changing background according to the genre. So as you can see, this Black Friday has the maximum weightage for horror genre, so the background changed accordingly. Now looking into some other movie, whether it works or not. So if I enter Dragon, as you can see, the background changed according to the movie that we entered, that is Dragon. So the weightage of sci-fi genre must have been the highest for this movie. So the background changed accordingly. If I enter the movie Coming Home, the background changed again. Also, we'll try one last movie. Let's see, Unwelcome Love. Again, the background changed according to the genre for the movie. Now, we have also handled invalid queries, like if suppose a movie does not exist in our database, or if a user enters some invalid query. So like suppose if user doesn't enter any movie and press the recommend button, then it will say enter a movie name. And if suppose a movie does not exist in our database, then and I click recommend, then it will say that invalid query, please help us to improve the application by sending feedback activity. So after this, going into the next task of like dislike button. Suppose I click on top rated movies. So these are the top rated movies based on the likes for each movie. We have implemented a like dislike button feature. You can like a movie. If you don't like that movie, you can dislike a movie here. So yeah, so we have implemented this like and dislike button on item of each list in this list view. Okay, so when you click on this buttons, data when you click on these buttons, data in the database change accordingly. Now we have if I search a movie Suppose it is dragons. We have implemented this list, like the list that the recommended movies, the list of the recommended movies that shows up is sorted on the basis of genre. Like the matching of the genre of the recommended movies shows up in such a manner that the first movie has the maximum matching with the searched movie, and the last movie has the least matching. Okay, after this we have implemented this option. So on clicking this on the share button, on clicking on this share button, the option comes to share on various social media such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Drive, etc. Now, looking into the last activity, that is the feedback activity, we have implemented a feedback activity so that we can take feedback from the users in such a manner that we can improve, that helps us to improve our application. So clicking on this feedback option, the Google Forms shows up, in which we ask the user to enter various questions, like whether he or she was satisfied with our application, and to rate the application, and if any suggestions he or she can give us to improve our application. We have also asked the user to enter movies which he couldn't find in the application, so that we can improve our database. Okay, now going back to our application.
Now moving on to tasks 17, 18 and 19, which relates to testing of the application and the optimization of the application. So for this, we have ensured that our application doesn't break down at any point and it remains consistent. Also for the testing, we have compared the results of our application with the IMDb, and the genre predicted by the IMDb is exactly same as what our movie recommender application is predicting. Also, as you know, in this project, we don't have any ground truth of the recommended movies. Hence, we have used time taken for recommending movies as one of the measure for judging a model. So, to improve the time taken, we have pre-computed a lot of data and stored it into the database. In this way, we get the in this way we get fast results. So that is all in our application. Thank you.